Hello everyone. Last week's video raised a lot of questions about my Insta361 camera. I guess just people aren't that familiar with it. They have two lenses. There's one on each side of the camera. They shoot a complete 360-degree view, and the software has the magic ability to erase this selfie stick. So what I'd like to do is switch over to the Insta361 camera, and I'm going to extend it up. And I'm going to hold it out like this, and I'm going to hold it up high. I'm going to hold it down by my skis in the front and also in the back, and back here like this. This will give you a different kind of perspective. It has this tripod, and you can set the tripod down. We'll let you look around the scene here a little bit. But one of the nice things is you can essentially follow the skier One of the things I like best about this camera, of course, is like on those old info commercials, set it and forget it. There's lots of different ways you can tie it onto your pack and just turn it on. And then when you get back to your house, you can use the software to change the point of view, change the zoom level, and get the exact perspective that you want for your shot. Now, of course, since it's shooting a 360-degree video, it has to take in everything and compress that down. And so when you change it to a normal view, the resolution's not going to be anywhere near as good as with the GoPro. But with the GoPro, you got to make sure it's set up right. You make sure that the picture's in the frame. And while you can crop it and you can pan around because you have quite a few pixels to work with, boy, if you, like for example, if you have it set on your belt and you have it pointed too far down, you get too much of the skis and not enough of the horizon. You have it pointed up too far, you get too much of the horizon and not enough of the skis. And it's much more difficult, in my opinion, to get a really good shot with the GoPro. I thought what we'd do is we'd go ahead and we'll just shoot a couple little short segments of me holding the Insta361 and just ski at a fairly slow pace here so you can get some ideas of some of the kind of angles you could get with this. I got my GoPro mounted on my ski pole, and this is the way I usually use it when I'm skiing and vlogging. But let's just, for comparison, let's try and ski with this down the hill, and we're going to try to hold it out and see if we can get some of those same perspective shots that we got with the 360. Okay, this is out front looking back. One of the things that I thought might be a little interesting with the 360 is to use my Avy Probe to try to get the Insta360 up much higher than you would normally be able to, see what kind of a perspective that gives. I thought maybe it would be sort of like a drone perspective, but it hasn't turned out to be anywhere near as useful as I thought it would be. But when I'm in the backcountry, with my backcountry skis and I'm in avalanche terrain, I usually carry this. Let's just experiment around with this. I'll show you what it looks like. Now this avalanche probe is 275 centimeters.
In this shot, the camera is stationary. All the motion you see in the video is done after the fact via software. I'll show you how this is done later in the video. I don't have a drone, and in many of the areas where I ski, drones are prohibited, but this trick can produce some interesting shots. In this shot, the camera is still on the avalanche probe, and I'm physically moving the camera from the creek bottom to an overhead position that's behind me. Let's take a moment to look at the 360 desktop application. We'll step through a very simple edit. The image on the screen is a single video frame. It looks weird at this point because you're seeing the entire 360 world view as the camera captures it. If you look closely, you can see the edge of my left ski at the right of the frame. Let's change the view so that all we see is a 16:9 viewport, just like what you would see if you were taking a photo. Now we can use the mouse to change the view in any direction we want. We can also zoom in and zoom out. I want to capture myself skiing, so I'll put myself in the center of the view and add a keyframe. Next, I'll advance the video, adding keyframes as markers every time I adjust the view. Here I want to center myself into the frame, so I just adjust the view and then add a keyframe. Now at this point, I want to rotate the view so that I can see the tracks behind me, so I change the view and add another keyframe. Now I'll restart the video from the beginning and see how I like my edit. I'm happy with that, so now all that's left is to create and export a video file that I can use with my video editor. The 360 camera is amazing, but there is room for improvement. Number one on my list is better audio, and a close second is more resolution. Well, that's it for this video. Until next time, be safe and be kind.